I stared at my phone, my thumb frozen over the screen as I scrolled through Jessica's Instagram stories. There they were, Mom, Dad, Jessica, and Ryan, my ex all smiling around a candlelit table at the Pink Door, Seattle's fanciest restaurant, toasting to my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. My heart sank like a stone. I'm Sarah, and I just found out I was the only one in my family not invited to celebrate this milestone for my mom and dad. The photo showed Mom laughing, her pearl necklace glinting. Dad raising a glass of red wine I'd helped him pick out weeks ago, Jessica leaning into Ryan like they were old friends. Ryan, the guy who'd sweet-talked me into lending him $40,000 for his big break in real estate only to ghost me when I asked for it back. My phone buzzed with a text from Mom sent seconds after I viewed the story. Just a last-minute thing, sweetie. You know how these dinners happen. Last minute, I zoomed in on the wine bottle, a 2018 Napa Valley Cabernet I'd spent an hour researching for Dad when he called last month, asking for something special for the occasion. My stomach twisted. This wasn't spontaneous. They'd planned it and left me out. I was supposed to be at my weekly coffee catch-up with Hannah, my best friend since college, at a cozy cafe near Pike Place Market. My latte sat untouched, growing cold as I swiped through more photos. Jessica posted another story. Ryan telling some story, everyone laughing, the table decked out with flowers and crystal glasses. Sarah, you okay? Hannah's voice broke through my spiraling thoughts. I turned my phone to show her the screen. They invited Ryan to my parents' anniversary dinner. Ryan, but not me. Hannah's eyes widened as she took in the photos. Wait, isn't that the place you told your dad about, the one with the killer wine list? I nodded my throat tight. Yeah. I spent an hour picking that Cabernet for him. Guess I know now why he was so specific. My phone buzzed again, Jessica's latest post, a selfie with Ryan, captioned, "Family vibes only." My chest ached like someone had punched it. Ryan, who'd lied to me, manipulated me, was sitting at my family's table while I was here alone feeling like I didn't belong. "Have you talked to your dad?" Hannah asked, her voice gentle but firm. I shook my head. What's the point? He'll just say Mom and Jessica planned it all. He never gets involved. I scrolled to another photo, Mom beaming at Ryan, like he was the son she never had. I remembered the time I tried to tell her about the money Ryan owed me. She'd brushed it off, saying I was overreacting to a breakup. Jessica had chimed in, "You're just mad he moved on." Hannah reached across the table, squeezing my hand. "Sarah, this isn't okay. You need to say something." My phone lit up again, Dad texting, "Amazing wine choice, sweetheart. Made the night perfect." Something inside me snapped. All the times I'd stayed quiet, swallowed the hurt, let them make me feel small. It rushed back. I thought about the emails I'd saved, the ones where Ryan promised to pay me back the bank transfers I'd documented. You know what I said? My voice steadier than I felt. I'm done being the outsider. Hannah leaned forward, her eyes curious but worried. "What's the plan?" I opened my email, my fingers trembling with purpose. Dad's about to find out exactly who he's toasting with. I started typing, the weight of years of silence lifting with every word. I sat across from Hannah at the cafe, my latte still untouched, the steam long gone. My phone lay face up on the table. Jessica's latest Instagram story, replaying in my head, Ryan's arm around her mom's proud smile, Dad clinking glasses like nothing was wrong. The hurt burned, but it was more than just being left out of the anniversary dinner. It was the realization that my family had chosen Ryan, the guy who'd conned me out of $40,000 over me. Hannah sipped her coffee, watching me carefully. "Sarah, talk to me. What's going through your head?" I took a deep breath, trying to untangle the mess of emotions. It's not just the dinner. It's everything. They've always made me feel like I'm not enough. And now they're cozying up to Ryan like he didn't lie to me, take my money, and disappear. Hannah's brow furrowed. "You mean the $40,000? You never told me the whole story." I hadn't told anyone, not really. It felt too humiliating. But sitting there with the sting of that dinner still fresh, I needed to let it out. I opened my phone and pulled up my email, scrolling to a folder I hadn't touched in months, labeled Ryan. "It started 2 years ago," I said, my voice low. Ryan had this big idea for a real estate startup, luxury condos in Seattle. He said he just needed a little cash to get it off the ground. I was stupid, Hannah. I believed him. I showed her an email from Ryan dated 2 years back. Sarah, this is my shot. $5,000 will get us started. I'll pay you back with interest once the investors bite. It wasn't just $5,000, I continued. It snowballed. He kept asking for more $10,000, then $20,000, then another $5,000 for legal fees. By the end, it was $40,000. My savings gone. Hannah's eyes widened. And he never paid you back. I shook my head, pulling up a bank statement showing the transfers. He kept saying he was close to landing a big investor. Then he ghosted me, stopped answering my calls, my texts. I felt like an idiot. I scrolled to another email, one I'd almost deleted out of shame. Ryan's words glared back at me. You're making this weird, Sarah. The $40,000 was an investment, not a loan. If you keep pushing, you'll ruin everything. Investment? Hannah scoffed, reading over my shoulder. He's got some nerve. I nodded, my jaw tight. And now he's at my parents' anniversary dinner, probably pitching the same garbage to my dad. I bet that's why they invited him. He's working them just like he worked me. Hannah leaned back, processing. Your dad's got money from his engineering firm, right? Ryan's probably after that. The thought made my stomach churn. Dad had built his business from scratch, and now Ryan was waltzing in, charming his way into another payout. I pulled up a text from Ryan sent just a month ago. I'm working on something big, Sarah. If you'd just trusted me, you'd be part of it. Part of what I muttered. Another scam, Hannah set her coffee down, her voice firm. You can't let this slide. If he's targeting your dad, you need to warn him. I hesitated. What if Dad doesn't believe me? He never takes sides when it's Mom or Jessica. And they're all in on Ryan. Mom thinks he's some golden boy, and Jessica's practically his cheerleader. I showed Hannah another Instagram post from Jessica, a throwback photo of her and Ryan at a charity gala captioned, "Surround yourself with winners." Winners, I said bitterly. She's known him since we dated, and she's acting like he's family. Hannah's eyes softened. Sarah, I get it. Your family's been brushing you off forever, but this isn't just about you feeling left out. Ryan's dangerous. You've got proof he's a liar. Use it. I thought about all the times I'd stayed quiet, like last Thanksgiving when I tried to bring up Ryan's debt at dinner. Mom had waved me off, saying, "Don't air dirty laundry, Sarah." Jessica had rolled her eyes, whispering to Mom that I was obsessed with Ryan. Dad just changed the subject to football. I'd swallowed the hurt, like always. But now seeing Ryan at that table, knowing he was probably spinning the same lies to Dad, something shifted. You're right, I said, my voice steadier. I'm not letting him do this again. I opened my email app and started a new message to Dad. What are you writing? Hannah asked, leaning forward. Everything I said, my fingers flying across the screen. Every email, every text, every bank transfer. If Dad's going to trust Ryan, he needs to know exactly who he's dealing with. As I typed, I felt a spark of something new, not just anger, but purpose. For the first time, I wasn't going to let my family's dismissal silence me. I wasn't invisible anymore. My fingers hovered over the send button, the email to Dad open on my phone. I'd attached everything screenshots of Ryan's emails, promising to repay the $40,000 bank statements showing the transfers, even the text where he called it an investment to dodge responsibility. The subject line was simple: the truth about Ryan. My heart pounded as I sat in the cafe with Hannah, her eyes locked on me, encouraging but worried. You sure about this, Sarah? She asked. This is going to stir things up. I nodded, though my stomach twisted. I'm done staying quiet. Dad needs to know. I hit send, and the email whooshed off, carrying years of hurt and proof of Ryan's lies. I set my phone down, waiting for the fallout, knowing it wouldn't take long. Within minutes, my phone buzzed, Dad calling. I took a shaky breath and answered. Sarah, what's this email? His voice was tight, like he was trying to keep calm. You're saying Ryan's a fraud. I swallowed hard. Dad, it's all there. The emails, the transfers, everything. He took $40,000 from me and never paid it back. Now he's after your money. There was a long pause. He told us it was a misunderstanding, that you were upset about the breakup. I clenched my jaw. Did he mention the part where he ghosted me after I asked for my money? Or how he's pitching you the same real estate scam he fed me? Dad sighed. He showed me a business plan, said it's a sure thing, condos in Seattle's tech district. Your mom thinks it's a great opportunity. Of course she did. Mom always loved a shiny facade, and Ryan was a master at selling one. Dad checked the email. There's a business plan he sent me 2 years ago. Same pitch, same promises. It's a lie. Another pause. I'll look at it, Sarah. But you know your mom and Jessica. They're not going to take this well. I almost laughed. They invited my ex to your anniversary dinner and left me out. I'm past worrying about their feelings. An hour later, my phone lit up with a text from Jessica. Why are you spreading lies about Ryan? This is low even for you. I showed Hannah, who rolled her eyes. She's really drinking his Kool-Aid. Before I could respond, another message came through Ryan this time. Sarah, stop this. You're embarrassing yourself. Call me. We'll work it out. My blood boiled. Work it out like he'd worked out repaying me. I screenshotted the text and added it to my growing file. Hannah leaned over. He's scared. You've got him cornered. I nodded, but the weight of what I'd started pressed down. This wasn't just about Ryan anymore. It was about years of being pushed aside, my voice drowned out by Mom's need for perfection and Jessica's social media spotlight. That night, I was at my apartment pacing when Dad called again. I read everything he said, his voice heavy. The emails, the transfers. Sarah, why didn't you tell me sooner? I sat on my couch clutching a mug of tea. I tried, Dad. Last Christmas I brought it up. Mom said I was being dramatic. Jessica said I was jealous. You just let it go. He was quiet for a moment. I should have listened. I'm sorry. Those words, so rare from him, hit hard. Ryan's meeting with me tomorrow, he continued. He wants to finalize the investment. I was going to give him $100,000. My heart stopped. Dad, no. He's done this before. There's a pattern. I pulled up another email, one from a friend who'd worked with Ryan on a failed project. It mentioned similar promises, broken deals, vanished money. I forwarded it to Dad. Read this. It's not just me he's hurt. The next morning, my phone woke me with a barrage of notifications. Jessica had posted on Instagram a photo from the anniversary dinner, Ryan laughing, captioned, "Some people can't handle others' success." The comments were brutal. Jealousy is ugly. Family drama is the worst. My chest tightened, but I didn't respond. Instead, I checked my email. Dad had replied, "Meeting canceled. I'm talking to my lawyer, Tom, today." Relief washed over me, but it was short-lived. Mom called her voice icy. "Sarah, what have you done? Your father's humiliated us, accusing Ryan of being a crook. This was supposed to be a happy occasion." I gripped my phone. "Happy for who, Mom? You invited Ryan and left me out." "You think that's okay?" She huffed. "You're making this about you. Ryan's trying to build something. Why can't you support that?" I laughed bitter. "Because he stole from me, and now he's targeting Dad." She hung up without another word. By noon, Ryan was texting again. "You're ruining my life, Sarah. Back off or you'll regret it." I forwarded it to Dad's lawyer, Tom, as Hannah had suggested. She came over that afternoon bringing takeout from our favorite taco place. "You're shaking things up," she said, handing me a burrito. "How's it feel?" I unwrapped the foil, staring at it. "Scary. Mom and Jessica are furious. Dad's finally listening, but it's like I'm tearing the family apart." Hannah shook her head. "You're not tearing it apart. You're exposing what was already broken." She was right, but it didn't make it easier. I pulled up my laptop, opening the folder of Ryan's messages. There was one I hadn't shared yet from a year ago, Sarah. "I'll pay you back when this deal closes. Don't make me look bad." I added it to the email chain for Tom, along with a note. "He's threatening me now. This is who he is." That evening, Dad called again. "Tom says your evidence is solid. He's digging into Ryan's business. There's talk of other investors with similar stories." I leaned back on my couch, exhausted but lighter. "So you're not investing?" "Not a dime," Dad said. "But Sarah, your mom's doubling down. She's convinced Ryan's innocent, that you're out to get him." "Jessica's not helping. She's posting about family loyalty online." I'd seen it. Jessica's latest story was a quote, "Blood is thicker than water. Choose who you stand with." "Let them post," I said, my voice steady. "They can't hide from the truth forever." Dad paused. "I'm proud of you, Sarah. I should have stood up for you sooner." His words caught me off guard, warm and unfamiliar. "Thanks, Dad," I whispered. After we hung up, I looked at my phone, Ryan's last text glowing on the screen. "You'll pay for this." I saved it, added it to my file, and turned off my phone. For the first time in years, I felt like I was finally standing my ground, and no one, not Ryan, not Mom, not Jessica, could take that away. The fallout hit like a storm I saw coming, but still wasn't ready for. I was at my apartment staring at my laptop, the email from Dad's lawyer, Tom, open on the screen. He'd confirmed Dad wasn't investing in Ryan's scam, thanks to the evidence I'd sent emails, bank transfers, and Ryan's own words proving he'd conned me out of $40,000. But the relief was short-lived. My phone buzzed with another Instagram notification from Jessica, a photo of her and Mom at the pink door, from the anniversary dinner captioned, "Family stays strong no matter who tries to tear us apart." The comments were a mix of support for her and jabs at me. Some people are just bitter. Don't let haters ruin your vibe. I wanted to scream, but instead I screenshotted it and sent it to Tom as he'd instructed. Hannah, sprawled on my couch with a bowl of popcorn, shook her head. "They're really leaning into this, aren't they?" she said. "Jessica's turning you into the villain for her followers." I nodded, my throat tight. "And Mom's egging her on. They're acting like I'm the one who betrayed them." I opened another email from Tom. He'd found reports of other investors Ryan had targeted, all with stories like mine, big promises, missing money, and threats when they pushed back. "He's part of a bigger investigation now," Tom wrote. "State regulators are looking into his real estate deals. Your evidence helped." I should have felt vindicated, but all I could think about was Mom and Jessica still defending Ryan, still pretending our family was perfect. My phone rang Dad. "Sarah," he said, his voice heavy, "I confronted your mom about Ryan. It didn't go well." I sat down, bracing myself. "What happened?" He sighed. "She admitted she's been talking to him for months, since your breakup. She thought he was a good influence for the family, that his business could elevate our status. She planned the dinner to get me on board with his pitch." My heart sank. "So she knew about his lies and still invited him. She didn't believe they were lies," Dad said. "She thinks you're exaggerating to hurt her. Jessica's backing her up." I glanced at my phone where Jessica had just posted another story, a quote about loyalty with a photo of her hugging Mom. "They're building a whole narrative," I said, my voice shaking. Dad paused. "I'm moving to the Puget Sound cabin for a while. I can't stay in the house with your mom right now." The words hit like a punch. "You're leaving her?" I asked. "Not yet," he said quietly, "but I need space. I failed you, Sarah, letting them dismiss you for so long. I need to figure out how to fix this." I wanted to tell him it wasn't his fault, but my phone buzzed again, Ryan texting, "You think you've won?" "This isn't over." I forwarded it to Tom, my hands trembling. "Dad, Ryan's threatening me again." "Don't respond," Dad said firmly. "Tom's handling it. Just stay safe." Hannah stayed over that night, insisting I shouldn't be alone with Ryan's threats hanging in the air. We sat on my balcony, the Seattle skyline glowing in the distance, eating leftover tacos. "Your mom and Jessica are in denial," she said, "but this is bigger than them now. Ryan's going down." I nodded, but the hurt lingered. I'd exposed Ryan, but it felt like I'd lost my family in the process. The next morning, Tom called. "Good news," he said. "The state's financial regulator is building a case against Ryan. Multiple victims have come forward. Your evidence was the push they needed." I felt a flicker of pride, but it faded when I saw Jessica's latest post, a video of her tearfully talking about family betrayal and how some people will do anything to ruin a good man. The comments were vicious. "Your sister sounds unhinged. Ryan deserves better." I showed Hannah, who snorted. "She's milking this for clout. But she's slipping. Look at the replies." Sure enough, a few followers were questioning her. "Where's the proof? Why isn't Sarah's side out there?" By afternoon, Dad texted, "Talk to Jessica. Showed her your evidence." My heart raced. "What did she say?" I texted back. His reply came slow. She's shaken, starting to doubt Ryan. But your mom's doubled down. She's at his lawyer's office now. I couldn't believe it. Mom was still defending him, even with the regulator's investigation closing in. I opened my laptop, pulling up the folder of Ryan's messages. There was one I hadn't shared yet from right after our breakup. "Sarah, you're too small time for my world. Stay out of my way." I sent it to Tom, adding a note. "He's been manipulating my family for months." Hannah watched me, her eyes steady. "You're doing the right thing, Sarah, even if it hurts." I nodded, but the weight of it all, Mom's denial, Jessica's attacks, Ryan's threats felt like it might crush me. Still, as I looked at the Seattle skyline, I felt a spark of something new. I wasn't just fighting for myself anymore. I was fighting for the truth, and no amount of Instagram posts could bury that. I pulled up to Dad's Puget Sound cabin, the gravel crunching under my tires as the familiar cedar shingles and weathered porch came into view. The air smelled of pine and salt, and the water sparkled under the late afternoon sun. Dad was waiting on the dock with 2 fishing poles and a cooler of soda, just like when I was a kid. I'd spent the last week at Hannah's dodging Ryan's threatening texts and Jessica's Instagram attacks, but here, with the quiet lapping of the waves, I felt like I could breathe again. Dad handed me a soda as I joined him. "Good to see you, Sarah," he said, his eyes tired but warm. "Let's fish. No phones, no drama, just us." I nodded, grateful for the simplicity of it. We cast our lines, the silence between us comfortable but heavy with everything unsaid. After a while, Dad spoke. "I'm sorry, Sarah, for all of it. I should have seen how your mom and Jessica were treating you." I reeled in my line, staring at the water. "You were just keeping the peace, Dad." "I get it." He shook his head. "That's no excuse. I let them push you out. That dinner. I didn't even know you weren't invited until it was happening." His voice cracked, and I saw the guilt in his eyes. "When I read your emails, saw what Ryan did, I realized how much I'd missed. I'm done letting them call the shots." I swallowed hard, the hurt still raw but softening. "What about Mom?" I asked. He sighed. "She's still defending Ryan, even with the investigation. I'm staying here for good. The house in Seattle? It's hers. I'm selling my share." The words hit me hard. My family's home, where I grew up, was gone, just like the perfect image Mom clung to. My phone buzzed in my pocket, but I ignored it. Then it buzzed again, a text from Jessica. "Can we talk? I'm at the cafe in town." I showed Dad, expecting him to brush it off, but he nodded. "Go hear her out. She's been asking about you." An hour later, I walked into the cozy cafe near the ferry dock, spotting Jessica at a corner table. She looked different. No makeup, no Instagram-ready outfit, just jeans and a sweater. She stood when she saw me, her hands twisting nervously. "Sarah, I'm so sorry," she said before I even sat down. I was wrong. About Ryan, about you, about everything." I slid into the seat, wary but listening. Dad showed me the emails. She continued. "I didn't want to believe it, but Ryan lied to all of us. And Mom, she's still in denial, saying it's a misunderstanding." Her eyes welled up. "I've been awful to you posting that garbage online. I deleted it all this morning." I stared at her, the sister who'd always outshined me, who'd made me feel small for years. "Why now, Jessica?" I asked. "Why believe me now?" She took a shaky breath. "Because I saw the truth. Ryan's been scamming people for years, and Mom's been helping him, thinking he'd make us look good. I was so caught up in her world, I didn't see what we were doing to you." She slid a coffee over to me, oat milk latte, extra shot, just how I liked it. "I want to be better, a real sister." I didn't know if I could trust her, but the gesture felt genuine, like a step towards something new. Back at the cabin, Dad was waiting on the porch. "How'd it go?" he asked. I smiled, small but real. "She's trying. We'll see." He nodded, then pointed to the old boathouse. "I'm turning it into a studio for you, for your designs. No more hiding your talent." My heart swelled. For the first time, I felt seen not as the outsider, but as me. Ryan was gone, his lies exposed. Mom might never change, but Dad and Jessica were trying, and I was done letting their old narrative define me. I looked out at the water, feeling lighter. "Thanks, Dad," I said, "for everything." He squeezed my shoulder. "That's my girl." And for once, I believed it. As the sun dipped below the Puget Sound, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, I stood on the dock with Dad, our fishing poles resting against the railing. Jessica's apology and Dad's promise of a studio had shifted something inside me. For years, I'd let Mom's expectations and Ryan's lies make me feel small, but exposing the truth had set me free. It wasn't just about stopping a scam, it was about reclaiming my voice. The lesson hit hard. Staying silent to keep the peace only buries the truth, and real strength comes from standing up even when it's messy. Family isn't about perfection, it's about honesty, even when it hurts. I looked at Dad, his eyes reflecting the water, and felt hope. We were rebuilding not on lies, but on truth. You can do the same, face the hard truths, speak up, and build something real. If this story moved, you hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel to catch more stories about finding strength and truth. Don't miss out, join our community, and let's keep sharing what matters. The lake sparkled, and for the first time I felt like I belonged.